Hello, tenors and baritenors. My name is Jeff Rolka. Thank you for checking out my video. This is a practice on the secondo passaggio, the so-called break. I don't really talk in these videos at all. I have grouped you together because your breaks are directly adjacent to one another, and we can group these exercises together. As I was saying, though, I don't really talk in these videos. I'll give you the exercises, I'll give you the changes in vowels and things like that. Thank you if you've chosen to subscribe. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters. Patreon's where you can get all of these practices as MP3s and also get the PDFs to practice along with. There are hundreds of them there, ready for the downloading. We're going to begin here. Sounds like this. We. Just like that, if you want to follow along. And keep it short. And again. And you sounds like this. You. And one more time. And he sounds like this. He. And one more time. And a flipped arpeggio with a descending scale sounds like this. We. One more time. We. Once again, starting here. And same again. And more time. And he into E. He, he. And he into A. He, A. And that one again. And he into Ah. He, ah. And one more time. And moving on. A into Ah on a scale pattern. Slight opening. Opening as you ascend. Easing closed as you descend. Opening as you ascend again. And then decreasing a little bit. Closing a little bit. Keep the jaw moving. We want to keep it in motion as opposed to here and then popped open and then shut and popped open again. It's a fluid motion that we're looking for here. Tenors, you're starting in the key of F. Looks and sounds like this. A, ah. And again. A, ah. And same again. And next exercise. 2 fingers kind of between the molars, keeping the jaw in a slightly opened, more or less neutral open position. Thumbs gently on the area where the larynx is, monitoring. We're listening with our thumbs, to listen for, I don't know why I'm thinking about it like listening, for motion. And if you feel the larynx creep up, try to yawn it down, keeping it in that neutral to slightly lowered position. The O vowel wants space in the rear of the oral cavity. Starting here, and again, and ah into O, kind of a little bit of each, opening the mouth as we ascend, creating that space in the rear of the oral cavity to suit the O vowel. One more time. And okay, tenors, trill exercise A and Ah. Here we're practicing the same exercise with the jaw that we did in the previous exercise. So a little narrower at the bottom, a little more open. Keep it fluid. Sounds like this. A, ah. One more time. A, ah. And you are going to begin here. And right there. And and O. Same monitoring as before, creating space in the rear of the oral cavity. Sounds like this. A, O. And ah and O. Same as before, a little bit of each, a little opening, creating space in the rear of the oral cavity as well. A and ah. We're going to work our way up through the passaggio. You'll see what I mean in a second here. Starting right there. And starting here now, and same thing again, and brief breather. Starting here, and again, and brief breather, starting here, and again, and starting here now, and again, and starting here now, and same again, and starting here now, and again, and starting here now, and again, and there you go, tenors. As always, I hope that helps. Thank you again if you've chosen to subscribe, and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, where again, you can get all of these practices, hundreds of MP3s and PDFs to practice along with. Until next time, my name's Jeff. Take really good care of your voices, enjoy singing, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye.